Today's video is in loving memories of the 13 beautiful people that lost their lives on April 20th, 19. To be talking about things that I read and learned in a book called Rachel's Tears, written by her father, Darrell Scott, and her mother, Beth Nemo. Rachel Joyce Scott was a beautiful young lady, 17 years old at the time of her death. She was surrounded by friends and family. She loved church. She loved her church youth group. Rachel was the first one shot on the day of the Columbine High School shootings. She was singled out for her faith. She was shunned by her faith, also by her peers. She was also mocked because of her faith by the student body and bullied because of her faith. When I started pondering this channel, I didn't want to offend anyone by speaking so boldly about my faith. But then I came to the conclusion I would rather risk offending man than offending God by watering down the truth I hold within me. Rachel Joyce Scott didn't sugarcoat her faith, so why should I? As I mentioned, Rachel was the first one shot. She was sitting outside with a friend on a beautiful April spring day in Littleton, Colorado, eating her lunch. She was initially shot, not morbidly, fatally, and she was trying to crawl away from the gunman. But the gunman came up to her and asked her, "Do you believe in God?" And her 4 words changed my life forever, still to this day. Her 4 words that she said was, "You know I do." The gunman said, "Go be with him," and cruelly and brutally ended her life. Those were the final words Rachel Joyce Scott said on this earth, according to witnesses. And if I may, I would like to take a step back, because at this time, my youngest son, Jonah, had just been diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Every day, I was on my knees praying to God to heal him, because I had that faith of a mustard seed that could move mountains, and I couldn't understand why God wasn't answering my prayers. But I realized I didn't know God the way Rachel Scott did. After counts and eyewitnesses and testimonies came out from eyewitnesses, and I heard of her last words and actions, I prayed for faith like hers. And over the past 2 decades, my faith hasn't just been handed to me. I've walked through some very, very difficult times. And we don't understand why things happen in this world. And that's why God's God and we are not. But I do know, based on God's word and personal testimony and what I've walked through, that God will bring beauty out of the ashes. That I know. Talk the talk, but she walked the walk. The book talks about how she asked a young man out on a date who didn't really have any friends, and that was mocked and teased and bullied. She saw that and recognized that, and she asked him out on the date. After her death, he went to Rachel's father and said, "Mr. Scott, no one has ever been nicer to me than your daughter was." And also, when she worked at Subway, there was a man that came in that couldn't pay for his sandwich or coffee. So she made him a sandwich and a fresh cup of coffee at no charge. Rachel cared deeply about other people in her life and for people she did not know. Even though she was shunned and mocked and teased and bullied for her faith, she still was so concerned that she asked people and challenged people, "When you die, do you short. She also said in her journal, and the book talks about, she challenged people by saying the following: eternity is in your hands, so change it. And what she means, according to, her witnesses, family, friends in the book, is God alone saves us when we ask Him into our heart. But she was willing to be a vessel to plant that seed for other people so that they may too know the God that she loved and served. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you'd like another video on Rachel Scott. I have enough information. Subscribe, it's free, and you'll get notified when another video of mine downloads. Thank you so much again for joining me on Perspective 101 with Janet.